Howdy, y'all! Our aim for today is to take a look at organic chemistry. How do you feel about learning more about alkanes? Sweet! Let's get started. Our focus today is alkanes. What's that again? Who comes up with all these complicated names? Alkanes are saturated hydrocarbons. They only consist of carbon and hydrogen, so they're quite boring. And what do we mean with saturated? You might have noticed the word when reading things like the packaging for butter, saturated fats. This doesn't mean that they automatically saturate you. In this case, saturated means that there are no multiple bonds in the molecule. So all carbon atoms in alkanes are sp3 hybridized. They are then connected to 4 more atoms via a single bond. Nice! So remember, alkanes are hydrocarbon chains which are connected with each other via single bonds. The saturated hydrocarbons can also be found in chains. There's a whole list of examples for this. Ever heard of the homologous series of alkanes? This refers to saturated hydrocarbon chains, which form an individual name depending on the number of carbon atoms. Examples for this are methane, ethane, propane, butane, and so on. You'll probably have to learn the series up to decane for school. And you'd best know it by heart, because deriving the names is a bit tricky. Take a good look at the sequence. You might recognize an obvious similarity between the alkane names. No? Exactly. If you're dealing with hydrocarbons, the name will always end in ane. To define the molecular formula, all you need to do is check the general formula for alkanes. Just use the number of C atoms for N and boom, you've got yourself the right molecular formula. This all just screams for an example to help you better understand. Let's start with the straight chain propane. Straight chain means that the hydrocarbons are bonded together in a chain-like structure in the structural formula. We are now looking for the correct molecular and structural formula. The suffix ane helps you recognize that propane is an alkane. This means that we have a hydrocarbon at hand. Propane is the third in the homologous series. This means that there are 3 carbon atoms found in it. So far, so good. But now we need to find the correct molecular formula. To find it, we have to replace the letter N with a 3 in the general formula. The result is the molecular formula C3H8. And that's that. We can use the molecular formula to find the structural formula of the straight chain alkane propane. There are 3 C atoms and 8 H atoms. This will help us clarify the term straight chain again. The C atoms are next to each other in a row. Actually super easy, isn't it? Now try the whole thing for the straight chain alkane, octane. Can you find the right molecular and structural formula if you know that there are 8 C atoms? Nice! That's it for alkanes. Let's summarize the most important bits again. Alkanes are saturated hydrocarbons. They only have single bonds. All alkanes end in ane. And last but not least, all alkanes can be defined using a general formula to find the chemical and structural formula of the alkane. Do you want to find out more? Nice! Then click on the next video. See ya!